The fluorescent lights in the hospital hummed with a low, grating buzz, each flicker slicing into my already pounding head. I sat on the edge of the ER bed, my left arm strapped into a sling, my ribs aching with every shallow breath. The car accident itself was a blur, a screech of tires, a violent jolt of metal, then darkness. But none of that compared to the real blow. A single text from Claire, my wife of 8 years. I'd messaged her, asking if she could come pick me up. Her reply was one word. Okay. Cold. Detached. The kind of response you'd send to a stranger asking for a ride. Not to your husband who was battered and bleeding. I stared at the screen, my thumb hovering over the call button, craving the sound of her voice just to hear if there was even a shred of concern behind that text. But something in me, something that had been quietly gnawing at me for months, kept my fingers still. Her late nights at the office. The way she guarded her phone. How she avoided my eyes whenever I asked about her day. I'd been brushing it all off, blaming stress and her push to climb the corporate ladder. Now sitting there in the noise of the ER, I wasn't so sure. I typed again. I'm in pain, Claire. Please hurry. I hit send and waited. Seconds stretched into minutes. My phone stayed silent. I pictured her in our comfortable suburban home. Maybe with a glass of wine in hand, maybe scrolling through her phone. Oblivious to what I was going through. Or worse, fully aware and simply not caring. Just an hour earlier, I'd been driving home from my late warehouse shift, thinking about the lasagna she'd promised to make, a rare treat lately with all her overtime. The rain-slicked roads glistened under the streetlights as I replayed our morning argument, which had started over something trivial. Dishes in the sink, but had left her uncharacteristically sharp and distant. I hadn't noticed the truck swerving into my lane until it was too late. The impact threw me into the steering wheel, and the next thing I knew, I was in an ambulance with my phone gripped in my hand like a lifeline. When my phone finally buzzed, I almost didn't look. Her new message read, "Be there in 20. No apology. No concern." Just another clipped reply. Maria, the ER nurse with warm eyes, came to discharge me. "You're all set to go home, Mr. Bennett. Is someone coming for you?" "My wife," I said, the words sour in my mouth. She nodded and handed me a prescription before moving on. Unaware of the storm inside me, I shuffled into the waiting area. Each step a reminder of the accident, and of Claire's indifference. When she finally arrived half an hour later, she looked flawless in her tailored blazer and heels, her blonde hair in a perfect bun. She didn't rush over, or even ask how I was. She just stood at the entrance, arms crossed. "Ready?" she asked, voice flat. I nodded, unable to trust myself to speak. The drive home was silent except for the hum of the engine. I glanced at her, searching for the woman I'd married, but her expression was unreadable, her gaze fixed on the road. My phone felt heavy in my palm as I scrolled through our recent messages. All short. All functional. All cold. When we got home, I sank onto the couch, wincing as pain shot through my ribs. Claire went straight to the kitchen, the sound of a wine glass clinking against the counter following her. That was when I opened our shared cloud account, a habit I'd long abandoned. I'm not sure what pushed me to do it. Instinct, maybe. Scrolling through the photos, my heart stopped. Among pictures of family events and vacations was a shot of Claire at a dimly lit bar, laughing with a man's arm wrapped around her shoulders. His face was mostly cropped out, but his hand rested on her waist in a way that told me exactly what they were. The timestamp said it was taken 2 nights ago, on a night she'd claimed to be working late. I kept going. More pictures. More of the same man. Holding hands. In a car I didn't recognize. My chest tightened as I opened her synced email. Buried between work threads was a conversation with someone named Jay. The words were unmistakable. "Miss you already. Can't wait for tomorrow. You make me feel alive again." The sound of her footsteps pulled me back. She entered the room with her wine glass in hand. "You need anything?" she asked, her tone clipped, as if I were a mild inconvenience. I held up my phone, the incriminating photo glowing on the screen. "Who is he?" My voice shook with rage and heartbreak. She froze, color draining from her face. "It's not what you think," she said, but the tremor in her voice betrayed her. "Don't lie to me, Claire. I saw the emails. The pictures. How long?" She set her glass down carefully. A few months, she admitted, barely above a whisper. His name's James. He's someone from work. It felt like the accident had happened all over again, but this time the impact was inside me. Why? Was I not enough? Her jaw tightened. It's not about you, Tom. I don't know. Work became everything, and you were just here. Always the same. I needed something else. Her words sliced through me, shredding 8 years of love and trust. I wanted to scream, throw something, anything, but my body was too heavy, my will gone. You could have talked to me, I said quietly. You could have tried. I know, she whispered, tears in her eyes. But I could see they weren't for me. They were for herself and the life she'd just destroyed. The silence in the room was suffocating. I thought of that first cold okay, of all the signs I'd ignored. I can't do this, I said finally, steadying my voice. I need you to leave. She nodded like she'd expected it, grabbed her purse and walked out. The door clicked shut. I sat there in the stillness, the weight of her betrayal pressing harder than any injury from the crash. The bruises and broken bones would heal, but this would stay.